Well, you get the basic idea. So there's a couple of things that are interesting about that clip. One is everything's animated, everything has a life, and that's actually okay. You can watch that and you understand it, which is quite strange because, of course, generally trees don't dance around and so forth. But this module that we have, so to speak, it's a bad way of describing it because it's more like an entire mode. It's the entire mode of human perception is being called the hyperactive agency detector by people who are somewhat skeptical about its operation. But because we're evolved to exist within living environments, it's very living, dynamic, animal-oriented environments, it's very easy for us to see everything in that way. Everything is alive, a priori. And that's why when you're reading stories to your kids, it's like Thomas the Tank Engine has, a personality and motivations, and so does the little engine that could, and all these things that are used to represent to children ways of interacting in the world. So, all right, so the point of all this, basically, is that we've evolved to categorize the world into social categories. And the social categories that we use, or that use us, that's a more accurate way of looking at it, because these aren't tools that we voluntarily use. These are ways that we perceive the world. They're underneath our understanding. They're preconditions for our understanding. So we tend to parse up the world into personified categories. And I didn't even say that properly, exactly, because that implies that you're projecting something onto the world, this personification. It's deeper than that. It's that the world appears to you naturally in a living and animated manner. And the reason for that is because most of what you process, and this was certainly the case to a great degree before human beings became technologically proficient, because we weren't that good at manipulating the objective world at all. Everything that we thought about and everything we did essentially was dependent on other creatures. And so what that also means is that whatever advances we've made in understanding the objective material world, we've made with a tremendous amount of effort removing that tendency to see things in an animated way from our collective perception, and working diligently to come to terms with the fact that there are ways of treating certain phenomena that aren't animated that work better. It's very, very difficult for us, and that's why, for example, we really didn't come up with a science-based technology until about 500 years ago. We really had to work against our own instincts, and we've still done them tremendous damage, because to the degree that we now perceive the world as objective and material and sort of dead, in a sense, it's also being deprived of meaning, and people really suffer for that. Because modern people can certainly say, given our understanding about the nature of reality, is it reasonable to propose that anything truly has meaning? Well, that's a very difficult question. I would say don't give up on it too quickly.